sound, I guess, is never, there's no constant. I guess there is no our sound. It's always a progressive thing, I guess.
We had things inspired by film and certain plays and stuff. Yeah, and kind of growing out of just whinging about things and taking life by the reins.
I think it's more of a content. It's always a response to how life is like in Singapore, our lives anyway, what we feel. So that's our answer.
Obviously, a lot of different art forms inspire us in different ways also. So just selit lah. It's like finding a way to see what it's like behind the scenes and creating things that we're not familiar with. Is sort of my main draw.
Yeah, I think that's the key, right? Finding something that challenges you. I mean, it's easy enough to come up with similar things, but you want to improve, you have to dip your toes in uncharted territories, uncharted waters, and the more uncomfortable you are, I feel, the more you'll grow. I mean, not everything has to be a positive experience. You can fail spectacularly, but at least you know that, okay, I won't do this next time. So
as we have.
Yeah, that's why we've tried to collaborate with a lot of people, because it's fun, and it's always fun to know that you are improving.
Honestly, most of our collaborations have been invitations. We really should be more active. I guess in that respect, artists that we admire and that we that we feel a connection with in different ways. I guess our criteria would be that we are able to appreciate their art. And if not, then it would be just really hard to connect, I feel. The more people we meet with different quirks and habits kind of feed us in different ways as well.
Yeah.
We always find that our collaborators bring something very strong or different to the table. So an obvious example was something we did for Play Freely. Was it last year? This year?
Yeah, the gamelan one.
Yeah, working with a gamelan group, and it was insanely difficult actually, because the tuning of the gamelan does not conform to the 12-tone Western scale, which all of our electronic gear is sort of slaved to.
It's very different from the Western one, because it exists in, I would say, in like different semitones and all that, in different like frequencies. Yeah. So to try get everything together and to try explain and trying to find a common vocab was a bit difficult, but I think we did a module in gamelan in uni that helped us a bit.
Yeah,
so we
some of that came back.
Yeah.
It helped that the way they communicated made sense in a very like immediate and visceral way. But because of how much of gamelan depends on oral tradition, it's so immediate. So what really stuck with me was the master, the teacher. The teacher?
Yeah.
He came from Indonesia with his student, and we thought that they were rehearsing a piece they'd known before, they'd learned before. But after a while, we realized he was just composing on the spot and communicating the next line or the next phrase to his student, like just while playing. Like just with and then he's just playing the student and absorbing the rhythm of that and what the different words mean. Then he immediately plays. So it's
mad.
How one ear is concentrated on delivering line A, and then the next ear is listening to line B and is able to produce line B. So we were really just there with our stuff, like
we're just like, what the hell's going on, man? But we could understand. We just
So I mean, pause and then between he would explain, and then just like that, and then back to them we realized, okay, that's how we communicate. So we talk about how to do the next section, and we look at them and kind of just go da da da, try to represent it with our mouths.
Direct communication was through intermediaries, so we had to communicate through all the weird chick-chucks or ting-tongs and whatnots lah.
I found especially with Checkpoint that they're not musically trained or that knowledgeable on that level, but are very open to and very sort of absorbent. And then you realize that across disciplines we have different words for the same thing. There's sort of these abstracted words that help us to connect. And then learning a lot of theatre and visual art vocabulary also makes us think about music in different ways. So yeah, it's really interesting on a linguistic level. Yeah, it really depends from project to project. So for Mark Nair, it was his very personal response to an issue. So it was very clear for us how to support and how to enrich the message on our end.
Yeah. That's the challenge, right? To complement and not overshadow whatever the main message is supposed to be. Yeah. Some people might find it difficult to, might be like a prima donna and find it difficult to not be in the spotlight because I'm the artist also, right? So, like for the Mark Nair case, the whole point was it's supposed to showcase the words, his poetry. So I think we did 2 runs, right? The first run for one of the tracks, one of the feedback we got was that the music was, and the gimmick of me coming out in a chicken suit was, I came out in a chicken suit. Kind of overshadowed whatever he was trying to say, and kind of, I would say trivialized, but it took the audience away from how important the message was. So in the next rerun, we didn't do the chicken suit thing, which is good for me lah. So that's what I mean lah. Like you have to understand that you're not the one in the spotlight here, and the art is the one in the spotlight.
Yeah. It's always important to make sure we serve the text or the main message, which is our biggest challenge with Checkpoint Theatre now. So.
That's a lot. I mean, because when you work with people from different, I mean, aside from the expanding your technical ability, because you're forced to try new things, I mean, working with people who are also in the arts but not necessarily in music might give you a different take on certain things. I guess interacting with people outside of your bubble might help you. Yeah.
Our scenes are already so small. We might as well all come together and, do more shit together.
I mean,
do more things together.
I mean, as a band, you might end up playing to the same audience every week. So if you do something interdisciplinary, you might find a new audience as well.
True.
Yeah, or artists, you're always exhibiting to the same people. So it's a chance to show your work to people who are interested in local art, but might not know how to get into the local art. Yeah, because it's always a nice gateway lah, I feel.
That's true. Making art more accessible. So, people always whinging about how doing art in Singapore is so hard because we have such a small audience. Then grow it lah. I think that is a responsible thing to do as well, to grow your audience and stop whining about it by finding ways of bringing more people together. And in the same way that we've discovered that actually we share a lot of common language in terms of how we approach things or create art in general. I think all art is the same, but just with different
mediums,
tools, right? It's pretty much all the same.
Yeah, I think everyone should do interdisciplinary stuff.
Yeah.
Only makes you grow as a person.
I've always thought so.
I can't even remember what the first interdisciplinary thing.
Some weird thing a long time ago, I don't know.
Confirm. Yeah. Yeah, just try out. Go je.